Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Woohoo! We finally conquered that. Hello, hello. We had a bit of technical lovely light coming in. So we needed to just feel into that energy, allow it to flow. And now we are here. Oh, I seek truth. It's been an amazing journey on every process I could imagine to be the foundation I am in this current moment. Kudos to guidance from within me to allow these doors to open, to embrace the love beyond unrecognizable, and being a foundation that nothing can shake you into the force of fear. Nothing. Nothing makes you feel judgment. Nothing makes you feel comparison. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of every moment, we're still connected. We're a ripple effect. People, trees, animals, everything. And when you believe it, you become even more of it. And when you can become more of it, is when the infinite light of all that you are funnels in and brings forward that attraction. And it's funny because we had a insight yesterday on another group I belong to, and we're bringing in so many presentations of different things to give us the insight of how to truly read energy. When you can truly read energy in all aspects without separation, you see the grace of love is everywhere. You're able to find it. You're able to ground with it. You're able to soften the winds through allowing it to embrace you. Sometimes you flow, sometimes you just stand that steadiness of a foundation. Either direction, you just see a different insight. Your magic of your smile truly represents what's inside you. And then you want more. But what you want more because you know you want to share it with the world. And so I wanted to share a little bit about a few things that we all have around us in our home, in our outside world. We see it all the time. My guidance team was giving me some insight on this, on an elaboration. And plants love. Oh, yes, they do. They take living sunshine and turn it into radiant, loving energy. They use that sunshine to provide oxygen to the world and show love at the same time. Much love and light. Then we get to the animals. Animals love. Brace yourself, because everyone's going to go out to that, animal clinic, wherever you are, and source out an animal after this. Animals, they respond to touch, to kindness, to love, and give that love right back. No words needed. Mm-hmm. You don't have to ask if they love you. They just do. They understand love because it's not a verbiage, it's the feeling. And that feeling really ignites so much more than the ruckus and buckus of what your mouth can chatter. Because mainly it's from here where it's coming from. So Liz is here with me today.
Yes, I am.
Love is an evolution, a desire, a mission of the soul. So Liz, tell me, how does that resonate with you?
Love is an extension of me, right? So when I see and I witness love from something, whether a human or non-human being, plant, sky, stars, I'm being reminded to share how, even with my guides and my own spirit, how I always send them love, and it comes back to you magnified because you're sending that love to yourself. Everything and everyone is an extension of you. So when we talk about the evolution of love, that's really just getting back to that place of knowing that we're all love. And it's just this flow and exchange of how we express it and how we don't allow barriers and things to prevent us from being in that state of just truly giving and receiving, but giving from a place of true abundance and not of lack, which is what we see so commonly right now, where people, and I'm guilty of this, right, would give love in hopes of getting it in return, but not because you have an abundance. I'm seeing a cup being full and it's just overflowing and just flowing out to everything. The grass, the plants, everything and everyone. That's abundance, right? That's what love is, or what love is capable of, when it's not confined and restricted and hoarded for yourself because you're afraid you might not get enough. Mm.
So when we speak, when other people speak, and you just feel the sensations, that's their atmosphere. That's their home of what they're projecting inside.
Mm.
And I ask you, do you want more love? Truly you do. We all seek it. We just don't know how to funnel it in. We all look outside to bring it back in. So how do you be that love? How do you then send it out? How do you radiate to the world? Well, first you have to understand, to release what no one is attracted to, no one wants in their world, which is anger, hate, misery, discrimination, separation, judgment, competition. These are the gunk of the, oh, just sunk, just saying those words, but we're not in those. Those don't radiate in my life. So how do you radiate within you to release this? Here's the foundation. And we'll tap into your questions shortly. Do you truly feel love? You have to be honest with yourself. Feeling love versus communicating with it is just a whole different perspective. You truly have to feel it. It is everywhere in everything in your life. Love made you. Nobody can argue with that because you know that. Love made you.
I'm getting emotional. So
Yeah.
what's coming up for me is that, well, that's essentially love, right? But what's coming up for me is my first experience encountering Source, and I'm like, what is this feeling? Because I truly had not experienced love of that magnitude, which is essentially what love is, right? It was only like bits and pieces of maybe less than a 1% fraction of what it truly is. So to feel it, and they're telling me that it wasn't in its entirety. So to feel it in the magnitude in which I felt it, I was frozen. I was like, I was laying down at the time and I physically couldn't move or get up because of just the magnitude of what it was. And I broke down in tears and I cried and just wept and wept and wept because I recognized that I had not experienced it until that moment.
It's glorious. It's glorious. That's my magic. That's it within me. That fuels me.
Yeah.
Because you need that fuel. And I totally believe as above, so below. Totally, that just, I know it's capable. I know it's worthy of it. And I know we are all worthy of it. And I say this because love is an evolution of a desire, a mission, a presence of how things are from the source of your core and why you are here. So I'm going to end with this segment of my team and then we'll start. Are there questions, Liz?
No,
Okay.
no, but we invite people to send in questions if they have any, especially in regards to
Amor had
love.
one. Amor had one. And this will help transition to that. Love yourself above all others. Loving kindness attracts the same. The radiance of love is and always will be unmistakable, unshakable, and unbreakable. You integrate those truths at the core of you, you ricochet everything. And it becomes clear, but not with a massive impact, because that's not grace. Grace is the flow that allows that funneling of these presentations to be unmistakable, unshakable, and unbreakable. And I don't tell you this just to preach it, I live it. I preach it, I mentor it, I ignite it. Mm-hmm. And I give you this gift to say you are capable of the same. Your presentation of you is capable of doing that in your world. We can always bring our presence back to peace in some presence. Recalling a positive memory, recalling an admirable step that you made in some part of your life, or someone else you love so dearly made. Your child went to college. He was the first one in your family to go to college. Walking that stage, getting that diploma, how your heart felt when you felt that. This is my team giving guidance on how you can just bring in your presence to feel those positivities. Because when you can funnel in a positive thought, depletes the negativity of all that your world's going through right now. And that's how you can lift everybody up. Share stories of joy. Share stories of positivity. This is how we can distract all this nonsense that's happening. Look at that sunshine behind Liz. It's still going to happen. We don't ever doubt that the sun's not going to come up. We don't ever doubt that the moon's not going to come up. Like, these are just things we see. We don't really think about because we just know it's automatic. The earth turns, rotates. Like, these are just systematic scientific things we know that happen. But do you see the glory in that? If we can present that, we can see all these other outcomes. They all will be funneled out. They all will be sanctified and purified in the time that's needed. But when we can see those kind of things on social media, this stuff will go away quicker. A lot of you just, as I'm tuning into people who are either seeing it or will be seeing it, they're like, I just don't believe it. I can't feel it. Well, that's just showing you don't have faith with whoever you pray to, whoever you acknowledge to be in that communication with when you need something. When you're at a bad spot and oh my gosh, you start praying like crazy. But if you're praying out of fear, that's not going to get you where you really want to go. It's going to show you all those open doors that are causing you to have fear. You have to change that vibration into saying, I surrender it. Open a door for me to see a higher clarity of an outlook. The shift in words become that shift to help you move on. move into a higher direction. Anxiety, stress, skin rashes, attitudes, those are all presentations of what's in your circle right now. So how are you going to shake that off? Look at YouTube, look for meditations. By golly, if one doesn't work, click another one. If you don't have spiritual teams, start looking on Facebook. Like, look for remedies. Don't look for stories to continue to compound this nonsense. You already know to wash your hands. Like, none of this has changed on what to do. The protocol's not going to change, But don't be fearful in these actions. You're just going to help with the masses and continue circulating that. And then us people who are living the life of just trying to stay neutral and peace and really bless everybody, you're just making us work night and day. Okay. Liz, what do you got to say?
So, from the medical perspective, fear does nothing good for the body. Yes, it's a defense mechanism that's meant to be used short term to get us out of danger. But being in that constant state of fear, what does it do? It pulls blood away from your brain, makes you less intelligent. It literally shuts down your immune system. And then we wonder why so many people are rapidly getting sick. Well, the vibration is fear, and everyone's immune system is being shot because of that vibration. So what's the remedy? The remedy is to disconnect, to not expose yourself to the things that are creating more fear within yourself so that you could keep your immune system up. We keep trying to view the two as separate, meaning physical and spirituality. But once you start to see that they're one and the same, then you could start to work and use the spirituality to your benefit to prevent disease, to prevent sickness, to prevent anxiety, depression, and everything else. That was a heavy one.
I like it. I'm telling people,
laughing it off.
You've just got to.
Yeah.
You have no other choice. When you can smile, the stress remedies become natural. You don't have to seek outside you to go to the store in that ruckus of a buckus, add more density to your light, and then rectify yourself by taking remedy that truly may just help in the moment. They're not dissolving it completely. Then you got to seek out Liz, because then Liz has to untraumatize you because you've already traumatized yourself. It's a skill set. It's an avenue. But what a gift to know you can do everything within you. If you get to the point of the present and you acknowledge it right then and there, instead of elevating it. How many times have you elevated your presentation of a negative thought, Liz?
More than I can count.
Yes. And I do too. I'm no innocent person. I have my ruckus. I have every so often my time too. I'm not glorified in just saying, I can just, tune into God and God's just gonna praise it. I still have my doubts and fears. They creep in every now and then, but I know how to just get them out of here, because that's not a funnel of a juice I want to be with. I want to circulate around.
And the other thing is that you're not going to miss out on the insight of what you're supposed to learn from that experience. It's just the recovery is going to be so much quicker. What we used to set you back 6 months of depression and trying to work your way through something may only take a second, a minute, a day. And that's where the true alignment of just coming back to yourself and really being in tune with everything that's going on. You don't fall into the ego for an extended period of time. The ego is the fight or flight. The ego is the stress reaction in your body. When stress accumulates, inflammation occurs. When inflammation occurs, disease follows, dis-ease follows. So if you want to physically, mentally, spiritually be healthy, it comes down to just recognizing and communicating with everything that's around you.
That's right. Energy vibrations, integrated truths. If you can't and sometimes you can't, this is where Liz is talking about you know, energy vibrations. Like you really get to the point where you can sanctify this with the truth. But sometimes you can't integrate it fully. So then you become stuck, and then all of a sudden you just still even worse than what you are. It's like a doctor giving you a flu shot, and oh my gosh, you get the flu. You know, you were already presenting that action of a fear. So guess what? Your body just ignited it with what you were fearful for to show you we still love you. But then if you ignite it with your energy vibration of, I'm going to take it to be pure and healthy, chances are you're not going to get the flu as someone who's already vibrating fear. You know, what you vibrate is so clear, tap on. And truth can really integrate and bless people. I've seen it in action, behind the scenes, and then with people presenting it in their own story of sharing. And I love those sharings, just so you know. So keep on sharing them, because I thank you for that. It just gives me more opportunity to continue on in this segment of a flow, because I know it truly empowers people like no other business. And in an inkling, you can shift your life. And an inkling means like 3 months versus 4 years. Can you share, Liz, on how truth has funneled your presence of where you are right now?
Yeah. So from the beginning, before we go into that, I just want to reiterate that I really want you guys to take advantage of this. Like, Jennifer is here and she's going to unravel some truths for you as far as what's going on in your life. So if there's something, whatever it is that is present in your life that you feel is a story that needs to be destoried, now is your time to bring it to our awareness, so some work can be done. So yeah, thank you, Jennifer, for all that you do. So much gratitude. As you know, I do work with you privately, and the amount of transformation that happens once you start to destory and let go of these non-truths that vibrate in your field is unfathomable. First of all, like, I was just so fearful. I was so fearful, and everything that was coming out of my mouth was coming from a place of doubt. And it's weird because I'm trying to put myself back to how I used to be, and I can't recall. But what
That's good.
yeah, my guides are just like, you're present, it's fine. That's really what happens. Like, the mind clutter that used to be there of, oh, so fearful of being this way, or trying so hard to be perfect and preventing myself from moving forward in my business. Like, truth does that. It helps people embody who they really are so that they can help the masses, because that's how you help the masses, is by being in your essence of who you are. So since unraveling all these truths, what really happened was that I'm able to fully embody my purpose and what I'm supposed to do. And clients are just coming and reaching out to me without me having to, do this extensive advertising or whatever I used to do. So I used to have a business background, and I used to chase clients, like chase them down and like pull them my way, and, almost have to do consultations and try and get them to work with me. And now it's just this easy place of flow, because that's what I'm vibrating. People are able to just experience what it is that I have to offer without me having to really pitch it or sell it, because it's just coming from a place of being, because I'm embodying who I am.
And so with that, let's talk about this, because I really want to present this in this element with you. How did you start though? Did you start channeling? Did you start pulling cards? Like, what was because you did this before me, you had already some insight of energy. People want to hear us talk right now, so I'm okay with that. I can go on and just spread light. We might even pull some cards and have some fun, because I'm all about the fun. If there ain't no fun, Jesus Christ just says, we have to elevate fun. We have to, in everything we do, like you just got to laugh it off. We all know this is an illusion. And if you don't, I'm just presenting it to you now. It's an illusion. Okay. This very moment in time, you truly have one life in this body, physical body. Yes, you do. But then you evolve and, that physical body is gone. So love it, embrace it. This may be your only presentation of where you have this clarity of less wrinkles. I don't know, whatever you're looking at, but embrace it, love it, live life like it's your last moment in time, this very moment. Because it won't be. One, two, you'll be able to bring more abundance in every single portion of your relationships that you have, not just with people, not just with finances, but the presentation of your purpose. Yes, yes, yes. I know that for a fact. Your relationship and what you do in the presentation of a human person, work-wise. And you become one with everything you need. And if not, they're guided to give you that guidance through an email, through a Facebook, through recognition of a relationship. I've seen it in action. I've seen different places where I've got schooling and insights from. And, some flows just aren't as magical as others. And I can tell you, though, I was there for a reason. And I was able to see that clarity and then move forward into a higher leap. And where it's going to be in the next 6 months is just amazing, amazing. But I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing what I'm guided to do to be that presentation of love in my element, and I'm spreading it. Liz and Madeline, who we've been working with through the Essenes of Truth, it came in a natural remedy of a flow. They thought I was crazy at first. They didn't admit that at the beginning, but that was okay. I'm used to that. My kids still think I'm crazy, but in a good way. Like, it wouldn't be mom without you being,
Well, that's the perfect example of what it's like when you vibrate fear, because you're like, we're going to go on live in a few months. And I'm like, nope, no, we're not. But yeah, that's exactly what it was.
But didn't we bring a different clarity of an ease? Like, when you did this now segment, you were at first like, oh my gosh. But then when somebody can hold a foundation of love, that's what we all do for each other. We hold a place for someone until they enter their light. That's what a parent does for their kid. That's what we do for our pets when we're training them. We're holding space for them until they can work it on themselves. That's what nature does. But nature detaches. That's the clarity right there. Nature detaches. They know, okay, that bird knows after a certain amount of time, you fly, you find your own nest now. They all have their own grace of interaction of a relationship, but they flow automatically. Humanity is what brings all these impacts and difficulties and all these distractions to make it even harder to reach the stars. And in 3 months, Liz, you had done all these previous things. I don't even know. And in 3 months, you're anchoring more light. Your internal knowledge has blossomed. Your presentation of a purpose. You work in a hospital for a reason. Add a link to your purpose in the energetic form.
Oh, yeah. I literally just got confirmation about a patient I did surgery on, and they personally thanked me to the surgeon. And I was like, oh, I guess I got full credit for that. But it was like this individual recognized my presence, right? And how I held space for him before and after his surgery. And that's what he took away from the whole experience. So this is, I'm just saying this because this is just more confirmation of the importance of holding love and space for someone. People feel it. They just don't realize they feel it. Even now, you guys are just loving us talk, because what you're really doing, and I'm sure most of you sense it, is that you're just feeling the love and the presence that's here. And, I could personally say from our sessions and even sessions that I'm starting to hold myself, my clients aren't breaking down when I'm going through these traumas because of the space that's being held. Like, when you're held and you're loved and you're cradled, you can be vulnerable and weak and not show up like a physical mess.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I got vibrations in my ears. Are you feeling something? Because here's what we're gonna do right now. Source says, and I say source is my team. Source is beyond that because we all have our higher self team. If you want to know who's on your team, you want a message from your higher self, you want a presentation of an action that's going to give you what you need this very moment. Okay, I'll do it. If not, I'm going to tap into all of y'all right now because we all got a general perspective and insight that we're all going to, when I do this, I think I do it for myself more than anybody, just so you know. I'm okay with that though. But we're a unity. So I'm just for myself. Sometimes if you're not going to take your spotlight, I'll take it for you until you're ready, but I'm truly going to ignite it. And when you hear me from the other side of the world in your dreams or a segment of something I'm hearing or vibrating, good job. You're embracing your power. I'm holding space for you until you're ready for that. And I have no problem doing that. I got 3 kids of my own and I got a husband, but I've got above to help me and ground me and know that that's the foundation of where I need to be because I was meant to help. I was meant to hold space in a sacred love tone. That's how I vibrate. That's how I preach. That's how I ignite whatever reverberates in here. And if it doesn't come in that compassionate form of acknowledgement, then it is not my presence. I rehabilitate myself every day with restoring my truth. Because if I don't restore my truth, I can't anchor what I'm being presented with in the highest form of a sacred tone of love. Okay. So as I said that, we were tapping in. Liz, how about you pull a card real quick? You have cards or not?
Oh yeah. Let me see which one.
As Liz is going to do that, prep that work, she's going to prep, and I say work because it's just not work. It's just not work. This is all fun. I do this to embrace the world with this smile in you because I know I radiate what you radiate. And you wouldn't be here if you didn't radiate that inside your soul. Your eyes can tell me a story, can tell me an insight in a twinkling of an eye, because that's the shift of an acknowledgement of an energy that I'm able to see and project to you. And I can give you a D story to ignite this, to dissolve it, but you have to empower yourself. The more clear you are on an intention, the more clear you are on a path with the words that you pinpoint, the more clarity you're going to get. Liz, why don't you asked something about YouTube, right? But you were clear on your question. Did you get a magical insight on where to go?
Oh, yeah. I got steps. I got topics.
Yes. Because of the clarity of an intention you put forth in your question. You're going to get top level insight if that's what you choose. But if you get, and it took practice for me to understand this, okay? So it's not that easy. I totally get it. But when you can depict that and really tune into a more insightful question, you get insightful results. And I paid a magical blessing of a session with someone. I paid an arm and a leg. At that moment, it was really, I think it was a 20-minute segment, and I paid like $500. Do you know what I did? I was so in awe with the magnitude of a vibration. Source is bringing me this, okay? I'm just flowing with all this goodness. And I couldn't help but just giggle and smile. But you know what? Like, and the other individual who's on the other screen was just, well, you have a question? And I said, yeah, just, I was top level questions because I was just feeling it. And Source knows how I am. I'm a feeler, totally a feeler. My kids can't lie. And they think that's just not okay as a parent to not be able to funnel that lie. They're just not fair. They're like, childhood has really robbed me of that parent-child relationship. That's what they verbitate with me. They're like, we got to be able to lie. We're just, can't tell you the truth all the time, but they know they have no other choice. Truth will set you free. And they're learning that. They truly are, because they can tell when they're like, ooh, mom knows already. Even my husband, he's like, ooh, I'm going to tell mom. And my oldest son's like, he already knows. She already knows. Like, it's hilarious now. You but okay, where source is going with this? Where are you going with this? Okay, so anyways, the feeling, like I have mastered the feeling, and I'm still growing with that mastery of a feeling, but to where I can get insight and I can get clarity on it even before I ask it. That's what feeling does when you can feel energy. You get natural insights all the time. Before you can speak it verbally, that's how fast energy, ignites. Before you can speak it, all of a sudden you already got the answer. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I don't need to ask that now. So that's how my segment was going. And then I got insight afterwards after I like settled myself down on how much feeling of magic I was feeling. And then it was just like, wow, that feeling it just reignited why I feel so much versus verbicate. And I do talk a lot, but that ain't nothing how much I feel. So could you imagine? Like, you can do this. Like, there's so many lights of just goodness radiating. I mean, diamonds that are cut, that are crystal clear, diamonds that are citrine cut, diamonds with rose. Like, your magnificence of a diamond is amazing. And then if you truly see your cut of your diamond and what it radiates inside it, and the strength of your foundation that is unbreakable, but that you can reformulate by destroying actions from what you're holding on to. When you shine it and clean it, that's what you can do. So that's where source is bringing me. Okay, Liz, sorry. I can go on and on.
Okay. I had so much to add to that. Where are we going? So they want me to bridge it, because to get from to where you are, right, to have that feeling, we're so disconnected from our feelings that we're not thinking in that sense of the feeling part, right? So holding this pen, instead of just going, oh, I'm holding a pen, right? It's like, I feel the warmth of this pen. What does this mean? Right? That insight of asking, what does this mean? Oh, radiating crystalline, crystal diamond cut, right? All of a sudden, this pen now has meaning because I had the insight to go a little deeper into what am I feeling? What is this vibrating as I'm holding it? That's what she's talking about when she's saying feeling into the feelings and having that insight of having those questions and getting specific with our intentions. I'm actually seeing, so this, one of the other pens is in the light and it's like radiating these like rainbow diamond prisms all over the place. Truly magical. But yeah, getting back to the point of it's almost like you have to have the worthiness to even ask these questions. Because right now, a lot of you have the opportunity to ask the questions, but I feel the hesitancy. And, my heart is, I'm just sending so much love to you all, because the hesitancy, I recognize it because I am there. I was there. There's no timeline, right? Time does not exist. So I could flow into that because I could tap into where I used to be. And when I tap into there, I resonate completely with it because I know it's coming from this place of not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to ask too much, not feeling good enough to be able to ask for really what's on your mind. But it's in those moments of asking, and I'm not just simply saying asking us, you have access to your team to ask these things all the time. Why are we not asking? Because we're not feeling the magnificence of what we are to be able to get this specific guidance of what we can have, to get laid out. Okay, tomorrow you're going to wake up, you're going to do this, and then you're going to do this, and then we're going to flow, and then, everything's going to work out, and you just got to trust it. To get to that place comes from here, from the heart, from knowing that you are deserving of all of it. Okay, now I'm allowed to switch over the card. Sorry, that has to come out. Okay.
So can you work on a more, okay, you're gonna do general and then maybe we can tap into a more, okay?
Okay, awesome. So general is Hathor. Receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and the ability to give to others. Now I know where we're going with all of this. So Hathor, being the cow goddess, she's always depicted as this cow giving her milk to, I don't know, whoever, the people. I'm just seeing the image and I'm like, who are these people? So the pharaohs, the people, whoever was willing to receive, right? So it's like God is giving us all this abundance to receive, but who's willing to tap in and to drink it, to drink the nectar of all there is, right? Oh, I'm just really looking at this. Look at all this flowing down, literally from her breast. I'm not making this up. It's there.
Love it.
Hmm.
Oh man, that just feels, because you can nurture your body, you can feed a soul and grow it so magically. A woman's essence can project that formulation of minerals or vitamins to perfect that soul to grow into this human body. But the blessing behind that exercise is just so amazing if you just feel into it. Male, female, it doesn't matter. We all have those energies, but just feel that empowerment. And when I say empowerment, like I really feel the warmth and depth of amazement. And that comes with grace. Every action should be done from grace. And miracles beyond your ever recognizable presence can be showering upon you, and not just you, the world around you. We all ripple this same showering of a blessing. We just have to be open to receiving. Universal laws are fundamental. Oh, I think we just got a segment, Liz, right there. Okay. You don't forget that. Don't write that down. We'll forget that.
Yeah, I already, that's ingrained in the back of my head.
Okay, yay, because that's where we're gonna go. Not this segment, but you see how you just get these blessings of showerings? It just happens.
Whoa. This is how we do all our work. Literally, it's just us hanging out, and then stuff just happens.
But we're doing behind the scenes, and if we truly tap into it, which then we get exhausted because we trust. We trust everything is in our highest good of how it's flowing now. But it did take some work. Behind the scenes before Liz, I had my interactions of trust. I had my diffusing of, source, Jesus. I remember an insight, and then we'll tap into you, Amor. I promise. I know you're getting antsy. I get it. But God sees all, hears all, vibrates all. Like you can't hide it. Seriously. So if you're gonna cuss, go ahead and let it out rather than inside you. Jesus cusses every now and then, but he cusses with grace. That's how you need to funnel your communication, with grace. You can say the most explicit message, but when you funnel it with grace, people take in that grace and let go of all those explicit words and just smile, knowing that person just let out that hurt. But let it go. He surrendered it. And he truly impacted. And I say he because I have an envision of someone doing it. So I'm showering them with light and love right now. This is how it happens. That's what love is. That's what holding space is. Celebrations become more abundant. Sermons of sadness just don't weigh as heavy on us anymore. Okay, Liz.
All right.
That was heavy. Whew,
yeah. Just reminding you guys. So back to the overflowing cup. That's exactly what this is going on. It's just an abundance of overflow of love, which is what we're all talking about today. So for those of you just tuning in, we are taking specific questions with intentions in regards to love and truth. And
Just
Amor, we're
everything.
getting to your question now,
Yeah, love and truth covers every spectrum.
which is everything. Yeah.
All right, let's help them more.
Amor says, I resonate with Liz's story. I want to move further out of the denseness more quickly. I've already felt some shifts since out last call, but honestly not sure exactly what is next. Need some insight. Okay, I don't know why I wasn't able to read that. I'm just gonna let that go.
Yeah, just send love and light to that. We're shattering it with white light. You got it, or you want me to add to it? You want me to start?
No,
Okay.
I got it. So shifting out since the last call. So it just goes back to filling our cup, reminding yourself to continue to embody and be your true self. There's still a disconnect there because you don't feel it. So it's getting back into that feeling, getting back to incorporating things that bring you joy. Talking about reminding yourself of something that lights you up. This is like those baby steps, because you haven't tapped into the full magnitude of what love is. A lot of us haven't. But it's in those moments of peace and joy, and recalling those moments of peace and joy will bring you steps closer to that, and it'll dissipate anything that's not vibrating with you. So as soon as you're in that moment of, and I know you know this, when you're feeling unsettled, right? You're remembering to ground, but you're not letting go of those densities because you're not incorporating that peace and joy, which just immediately dissipate that vibration of fear. You want to go a little deeper, Jennifer?
Oh, yeah. So,
my infinity had started, so I know something's coming.
Okay, Amor, here you go. My mouth is getting ready. Because it's just taking on a lot for you. And that's exactly what's happening. You're overdoing yourself physically to spiritually, you can't even feel the faintest inkling of an insight. So we're going to remove the distractions, because that's what they are. They're distractions. And no, how amazing. So let's see who's doing this for you. Your higher self. Okay. So your higher self is literally getting a bucket and has this wide water flow of, in essence, pouring it from the top of your crown all the way down your body, hydrating you with the Holy Grail. That's the energy that you're calling for right now. To embrace every presence of your energy bubble, of all of you. Knowing it's okay to say no. It's okay to let go of certain things, not knowing what the outcome is. Oh, that just felt good for you right now when I just said that. Yay. Now here's the interaction you have to do in order to really make this magical. Your body's flowing. I'm feeling your body as that water's coming in, because I'm like, bless me too. I like that Holy Grail. Anytime, anywhere. Yes. So, there you go. It's flowing better. Yay. Okay. So here's what you have to do. That energy is presented to you. Okay. And that energy is heavy. So you can recognize that more than you can recognize lightness right now. So we gotta shift that. But for right now, this is how you're going to shift it. And it's going to take some time, because you got to be patient and kind with yourself, not with others, because you don't have a problem being kind and patient to others. You have a problem being patient and kind to yourself. Thyself is how your higher self says. So when the hand of the palm just gets heavy, which is quite frequent, grab your hand, and your higher self is saying, grab your left hand. Shower down those tears, shower down those thoughts, shower down that fear, that frustration, and that anger. Just, if you don't want to feel it or preach it, just let it be there. Just bring it present. And when you can bring it present, you look at it and you say, I forgive you because I love myself. And you hand it over to Holy Spirit. That empowerment of a step of a practice will get simpler, will get lighter, will radiate those distractions and suffocate them like nobody's business. Because you have lots of strings that are attached to these things that you're holding on to. And Holy Spirit can literally get down to the core of all these strings and all the energies that they have been attracted to and source it out. Because you're in no way to do that for yourself right now. And that's where the Holy Spirit can really guide you in that. Then you funnel in your self-empowerment as you truly begin to trust yourself, knowing that you followed through with this presentation of an exercise through truth. You're reaching the truth of your core. And it gets heavy before it gets lighter. But when you have this type of support, by allowing this, you don't have to preach everyone your insight, because that's not how you flow. That's not how you communicate. You want to keep it within you and just surface talk about certain things. What other magical place to do that than with the Holy Spirit? That's the most magical presence of God for you, for all of us. Blessings, blessings. Much appreciation. Okay, I think there was another question or an insight.
Christine said something. That's what I was going to ask. Why I don't feel in my body answers when practicing asking yes or no. Should I unblock something or practice more? I'm just tuning into your body now, Christine. Let me see. So they're showing me your hand chakras are on, which means your clairsensitivity is activated. You're feeling all you need to feel, bro. You just don't realize it because there's a misalignment somewhere. Okay. It's not an unblocking. It's more of a decluttering. Your brain is very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know exactly how to do it because I know you were part of Jennifer's class. So it's just a matter of really cleansing yourself, getting into that place of alignment and then checking, asking, am I in alignment? I don't feel that. Come in closer, right? There's no limit to how many questions we could ask when we're communicating with ourselves or our guides. So just keep asking and be patient, because they're saying you're getting discouraged when you get frustrated because you don't feel it right away. If you don't feel it, command. Tell them, I don't feel it. You got to come in closer. You got to switch it up or change something because I'm not feeling it right now. And they'll change it up on you. When I get ringing in my ears, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if that's just me. If you want me to talk, you got to move it to my throat. And they'll move it to my throat because that's how I flow. And now they know, okay, that's what I got to do. So it's just about asking, really.
I get you have your mind set on a certain way to channel,
Mm.
and that's holding you up. We are born naturally to channel, okay? Channeling in every syllabus of our own divine blueprint of what that truly means. And you have to really relinquish what the dictionary says, what mentors say, everybody. It's in your highest good to relinquish all those attachments of defining channeling. I present channeling through truth, but man, I have just a higher presence of a vibration with my team. Liz projects channeling through traumas, but she still has source with her. It's just a magical presentation. She owned her own purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I have to let go of what that means for everybody else, so you can allow yourself to trust what that is for you, and you will get clarity. Funny, I see it, but I can't share it. So, insight. But we have those gifts to see that. But it sometimes isn't in our highest good to share it, because you have to empower yourself. And a good mentor that I say I am, and I know I am, holds space for every person to do that. I bring you foundations. I help present it. And behind the scenes, there's more magic happening. But there's certain elements of a story you have to empower. And if you can just let go of those attachments without feeling obligated or responsible, oh, they taught me so much, but they're so good in their element. That key is their element. That's not yours. I love to do tune-ins on businesses. Like, I just love it because, and Source already told me, you just like to get dressed up. You like to talk in front of people. Like, you like to feel that empowerment as a woman to show people you have equality here. And man, you can present it like nobody's business. True? They didn't take it away from me. They just allowed me to break it down. You have 2 days out of your working week in your small amount of time that you present things to work on, to tap into those. But then I want you to do these other segments of different approaches, of different syllabuses of channeling. Can I tell you that I can do so much more by taking that guidance and trust? I dissolved what I expected for me and what I needed because of the world, and trusted God's wills and God's desires to flow through me. Because at the end of the day, monetary presentation to God is not what gets you anywhere. It's what you do for a soul, to a soul, from a presentation of your own soul.
And everything else will follow.
Woo!
All your desires just come along with it. And that's where the trust comes in.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I hope that resonates. I hope that helps. I know things are, and I know they are. So let's just say that I'm very attuned with truth, and I don't acknowledge nothing behind that. I know that it's happening already. So I know they are acknowledging. I know they're aligning with you. I just hope you move on that action of empowering yourself to relinquish those attachments. That's how I wanted to present that there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And just a lot of congratulations to those of you who did empower yourselves to ask those questions, those specific questions, because that was an initiation of its own. We couldn't tap in unless you verbally asked for it, right? So, yes.
All right. Madeline. You want to give some insight? She just wants to give some, she wants a message. She just wants love from us. She does not say, she just wants us some love from us. She can't be on live because she's working her human job or 3D job. Totally get it. And that she just doesn't present it as well. But I can tell you now that she's at work, she can do both So it medicates her so that she can withstand those human interactions that she has in her office. Because by golly, she's shifting light in all directions now to just stabilize a neutral zone. Because before it was like a war zone. And now she's able to funnel that in. So she's here in spirit with us, but she's messing this live. So she wants some love. So let's give her some, Liz. We're good at that. What shall we do?
Odin's coming in for you.
Woo, let's see.
We'll let him keep talking. I'm staying out of this one. Dear one, continue to empower yourself. Continue to walk on this path as you have been doing. Let go of these distractions and these. He's just dissolving a lot. Chattering, right? Vibrations. Where are we going? Okay. As you can feel, so much is happening around you in your neighborhood, in your home, in your children's schools. And we're asking you to not feed into the fear, for that does not serve you, as you know, but instead embrace peace and being one with Jesus and becoming that pillar of light for your neighborhood who so very much needs you at this moment, so that you can continue to shine your light to all those around you, as I know you were feeling called to do. That is that calling that you've been having. You just didn't ask for the clarity as to what you were being called to do. Going back to the feeling and to feel into things, to have that insight, to ask for the clarity, because we would have given you those steps. Your team would have told you exactly how to anchor in more light, to shine it upon all those that come to you with their problems and their fears, to help bring in peace into not only your life, but theirs. So we thank you now for asking. We thank you now for empowering yourself to ask for the guidance in which you are looking for. And know that your team is always available for you to tap in at any given moment to gain more clarity. Thank you, Odin. Thank you.
So here's how Madeline, lovely Odin. Here's how Madeline works. This is Madeline from day one. Madeline is a giver. Okay. And as Liz was vibrantly energizing her with Odin's message, more than a message, her spiritual body was saying, let's do this right now. Let's do this right now. So I was presented to her what was going to happen, which was showering the office with white light. And you know what her spirit told me? Let's everybody who's going to watch this, who's on this segment right now. Her heart just makes me cry right now, but that's good cry. She goes, let's just do it to the whole God's plane of existence. I've been doing that on the hour as I'm guided to shower the whole world of God, not just the world, God's plane of existence with white light. She knew that, and she didn't forget that, because she's like, if we're going to do my office, let's do the whole plane of existence of God's blessings. So just for 30 seconds, let's just do this. Then we'll get back to the questions, because why not? We're doing ourselves, but we're doing God's plane of existence. Blessings and miracles come in all directions and all disguises. So just, you can keep your eyes open or closed. I do whatever flows. And at this moment, I'm just envisioning white light that goes far beyond infinite. So it's ever foreseeing through God's light, God's wills, and God's desires. to bring that energy to every anchorage of energy, blessing it with white. Presentations of Christ, of love, of sanctified love, showering all. So as this was happening, I truly got to get a voice recorded because everything that comes in so fast now. I'm just like, oh, I can't remember all that. As we were presenting this, the energy was talking to me. Was it talking to you, Liz? Or you were just feeling it? Okay, you're just feeling it. Okay.
I'm still feeling.
So what it was doing was presenting everybody with a formulation of peace. And I say everybody, every piece of energy. God knows the specific download for every piece of energy that exists. When we can present it with peace in its own presentation, and he had it in he was giving me 6 different presentations of where peace was and what it was formulating. And we can anchor unity in that support, in that kindness through actions, whether it be a silent intention, a prayer, a presentation of just sending love and light to an individual, physically buying something and just handing it off, helping that one person pick up that case of water. Just giving a few cents here because they're digging in their purse and you see that they're frantic. This is how the heart makes ripples of kindness through grace. Having cases of water bottle in your car, knowing there's a homeless guy there, but you don't feel pity for him. You feel compassion. I'm blessing this water with love and light. Here you go, sir. You don't need to tell him what just happened. You might have purified his soul by passing that bottle of water to him. You might have blessed that animal that he's with, knowing that that animal is holding so much unconditional love for that person so they can heal one slight of worthiness within himself. Those are graces in action. Oh, that went through a lot of people. Nice job. Okay, I think Nancy wanted to know who was on her team. Can we give some insight on that?
Getting a yes for Jesus. She was saying it's Jesus and any archangels on my team.
Okay.
There's an archangel here. Just waiting for them to step forward. Archangel Ariel. Yeah, so Jesus and Archangel Ariel, who I don't know too much about. Do you know what? Do you know about her, Jennifer?
Ariel?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay. So she formulates light codes for what she does. You can go into looking at her, but I don't define archangels by what people write. I define them by the essence of their soul, how it registers with them and how it ignites their purpose to really funnel into what they're doing in action. So that those are your main teams in action right now, but it always expands. And currently those are the two being presented and very active with you right now. Bond with those two energies more amazingly, build that relationship with them. You will see the insight with the other embraces of your team as you funnel in that trust with these two, these anchor presentations of you in action right now, and will expand for you with all actions that are being presented to you. Whew, lovely. Okay, so there's a truth that somebody wants to know right now. How do you pronounce her name, Liz?
I don't know. Jiak? Sorry for mispronouncing it. I don't know how to pronounce.
Lovely name. Lovely name. That's the first thing that's being presented. I obviously, you know, and I know you know truth. I think I think that's where it's coming from. Okay, what's a truth that you need to know right now? I'm gonna let Liz tap into this because I want to stretch her, because that's what we're about. Then I'll funnel in the magic potion to make it anchor.
Okay. I'm getting you are one with all.
Okay, let's go deeper. So here we go. So here's how I bring in truth. We bring in what is in your highest good to hear, but I also want to always make sure that that's the final destination to funnel in what's anchoring that truth to dissolve or amplify anything in your action of being presented in this moment. So I'm shaking because they're like, this wiggles, but I want to go deeper to really funnel it in to just distract all the distractions. So the next presentation of truth is the light anchors you. So be one with light. Be one with the light of your soar, your core of your love. Funnel in love from the center of your soul. It's going deeper. It ain't done yet. So let's go. Then it's okay. By the graces of God, I am one with God. I am worthy of his power. I am worthy of his manifestations. I am worthy of his light. Radiated from what that projects in you. And radiate with worthiness. You are worthy and you are radiant. Own that, be that in truth. Whew.
Let me just tell you what I'm seeing going on. So it's happening too. So I get pains in my teeth because it's just where the traumas lie. The nerves go directly from the teeth directly into the brainstem. So there's a tooth down here and a tooth up here that's just being cleansed. Just like all this gunk is being sucked out of it. Power of truth.
Ooh, yep. Drink water. Lord.
I don't know if you're feeling it, but my jaw is so funny right now.
Yep. And I'm like, I ask Source when I'm doing that, like, okay, do I need to like chomp on something to let it go, to let it flow more? And the main insight I get when I get tension around my gums and my teeth is anchor more light. Okay, well, how do you want me to anchor more light? Sometimes our definition of what we need to anchor more light in is different. Sometimes it's how my higher self is saying, sometimes it's to stand outside in front of the sun just to get the father son element physically to penetrate into your pores. That's what I need, apparently. I need nature, physical nature. I'm gonna ground myself right now, though. Okay. And lo and behold, it just went away. I just bonded with that interaction. I made that interaction happen. That sensation is gone. And I finalized it by defining it and commanding it by grounding myself. That was good. Okay. Madison. Madeline M. Mason, can you give me some guidance on why they need me to rest so often and long? Oh, girl. I usually strongest connection in about 3 to 5 days, then a rest time for the same amount of days. During the rest, I have very little connection to them and have to just tell me to rest. You've been through that. I feel a story coming along, Liz, that you can share and give some insight on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's all like, uh-oh. So, you're stretching yourself too fast, too quickly. So the recovery time is in these big heaps because, and this is where self-mastery is so important, mastering the little steps instead of growing. It's just that channeling, that gentle communication for oneself before spreading it to others. Master that, and you won't have such big gaps in your recovery time. You're giving too much before filling in your own bucket, right? Going back to this bucket of love and abundance. So work on filling your own cup when you give from a place of abundance rather than a place of we'll say deficiency. You won't have to recover at all because it's just this natural flow. It's overflowing. So there's no need to take 3 days to put more love back in your bucket because your bucket's just full all the time. And I know this all too well because I was doing it. And then I didn't do lives for a good amount of time, if you guys haven't noticed, because I needed that time to recover from all of the stretching that I was doing prematurely. And now it feels good to be back because I'm back to myself. I'm being stretched, but being stretched in a way that is equivalent to the space I could hold for myself at this current moment. And that's the importance of it. When you stretch yourself too widely, there's gaps and you got to work really hard to fill in those gaps. And sometimes that work takes you back and you got to take a few steps back in order to catch up and go back to your alignment in yourself. And when we stretch and we try and leap bounds and do things ahead of time, we take away our lifetime. Remember, things happen according to divine timing. And if you don't abide by that, then you're just shortening your lifespan here. And there's no sense in doing that because it's a blessing to be here. So enjoy these moments that you have now, even your little growths or your little experiences that you have with yourself and your own channeling with what you're receiving, because that's where the blessing is. And then from that place, you could go on and give it outwards to everyone else.
Oh, lovely, Liz.
Mm-hmm.
So she's speaking from experience, I gather, a lot of experience going through story cycles. So here's the deal. She finally was able to de-story that. And guess what? That's why she was congratulated, come back on live and feeling so much more vibrant. Sometimes the self-care is a magic potion beside everything sometimes, that is all the time. My higher self corrected me. Yes, thank you. Self-care presents so much more, not just in the present moment, but what's going to lead you beyond that present moment in your formulation of a story. It is a continued anointment to do that for yourself, especially when you're in this magnitude and the presentation of what you want to circulate and expand outward in. And at the beginning, you feel so much goodness and glory because you're finally interacting and you get so hyped up. And then you're just like, I just want to expand it and expand it and expand it. But that's like a sugar craving. You get high for this much energy, then you just like sink. That's not flow. And Madeline, I know it takes practice, and I know this is the hardest piece. Being patient with thyself to funnel in the blessings to your exterior world. But this is inkling of a timing that it's going to take you. Whew, that was hard to grasp in for a minute. So continue with the self-care by being kind to yourself, knowing that if you feel this magic now, how much of a continued magic you'll be continued to expand out by just being more kind and patient to yourself. We've got a follow-up from that other segment that will really do that self-mastery from within you. So that will tap into that. And that's why I said 2 weeks, because it does take that formulation to re-establish that communication of patience and kindness. It's a magic potion, but it ain't easy to do, especially when you get taste of big leaps and jumps. But these are tests to choose. Choose again. You didn't choose a higher presence of kindness and patience. Guess what? You're going to present it again and see if you choose it. If not, you're going to choose again and story it again and story it again until you finally dissolve it. Ooh, that felt good. Okay, so I don't know if there's any more questions. Nancy, yes. Thank you, love, because she feels it. I feel it too, because that's why I do this more than ever now, because this is, I do it for myself, like I said, but I spread it to all. The session is so spiritual. It is. When you can formulate holding space for one another, flow in the sacred tone of love, the presentation of what's being presented to you and open to you to receive more than you could ever imagine. Oh, how do we close this, Liz?
Lots of love and gratitude for everyone who has joined or will be joining this live. For this is in itself a form of empowerment. And many blessings to our team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing the extent of what the team looks like. It is beyond beings. It is grass and sky and clouds and birds and bees and the magnitude of what it is. So we're just so grateful for all of it, for that is the love that everyone is experiencing. It is just, it is everything.
Radiate your light, anchor your light, be it in truth, make magic happen from within you. So it radiates from the glaze and twinkle and sparkle of your eyes. That smile is so vibrant that you feel it from across the world, and Source showers you with so many infinite blessings beyond you ever foreseen through the sacred presence of abundance from the sacred tone of love. Peace to all.